was cutting that tree there, I hit something, and my chain, you'll feel your chainsaw starting to hop a little bit in the cut, and that drives me nuts. And usually what happens is a couple teeth get dulled and then the chain starts hopping, like this one here. See if I can focus in on it. That one there is a little bit dulled up. There's a couple up through here that are. So I'm just gonna go through, touch up a couple teeth real quick. Can't stand it though when they start hopping like that. Got a nice little group of soft maple here. Cut one there. Got this one. And there's another one right over there on the other side of those two cherry. And this one here, I'm gonna dump straight up in there in between this little hemlock and that maple. I'm not gonna cut that maple, it's a little too small. But there's a nice little hole for it to go through down there. Next one up, I had someone ask me how I figure out the lean of a tree, and usually what I do is I pick 4 sides of the tree, stand under it, look, and see where the most weight is. So this side here, there isn't a bunch of weight or lean. Come over here, look at it from this side. You can see how the top is leaning that way. It kind of goes up, curves out. You come over here, you look up. You stand right by the base of the tree, you look up and you see the majority of the trees underneath the over top of you. And this is where this is how I figure out my lean. So I'm gonna drop this one straight down on top of that dead one there. And actually I'll probably go right between that beech and that dead one. There you have it. Figure it's time for my first lunch. Have my sub, have my water. Tiny tells me for how much I eat, I should be 600 pounds. Because I have breakfast and then I have usually a lunch after the first skid, and then I go get another skid, and then I have another lunch after that one. And yeah, tiny thinks I should be about 600 pounds, but I've been 145 pounds since I graduated high school, so. There's a pretty view from this office. Got some hemlock logs there. A whole bunch of saw logs there. And today I'm working on pulling logs out to the other landing. Got some little chocolate chip cookies now. Finish up with this huge apple now. Alright, well, lunch number one's done. I always carry my little lunchbox in the Skidder as well. Eating doesn't really slow me down or make me feel sluggish. Some pretty decent logs in here. Nice hemlock. Been a while since I found a deer shed. It's an oldie here. That was a heck of a deer though back in the day. Holy smokes. Well, I started the morning out cutting hardwood and decided to go back to a little hemlock. This one here, we kind of have two options. We could send it down through there, or I could send it down through here. And I'm gonna go through here since there's 3 dead ones right there, and it's a little bit bigger hole. It'd probably save me from destroying one of these hemlocks. That Mike's 500 out right now. I was gonna wedge it over. I'm just gonna push it over. back real quick. Well, with that, we're going to call it a night. It's almost 7 o'clock right now. Got a pretty bad storm heading our way tomorrow, so hopefully nothing gets too crazy around here, but put in a heck of a day today, and we'll see maybe tomorrow morning if we can't do something. But thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed day.